All right, maybe let us move on to a different theme of this issue. I think whether we like it or not, this style of politics in Westminster democracy, despite dependent on the number of seats a party has in the House, when it comes to the polls, going to the polls, you need to have a figure to be presented to the population, the electorate, to be the potential leader. So in this respect, it looks like that within the Pakatan succession lineup, there's no clear formula, as it were, as to who to take over should he is unavailable for the premiership.
Let me say this, that we have a pool of leaders. And I think Pakatan is very privileged, to have this, and very consciously, although, very consciously, although we are not, we have never been very empathic or pedantic on who that person is.
Yeah.
But the fact that we have pool of leaders that are also, should I say, capable, if not really willing, that gives us that kind of comfort.
Yeah, what do you, Teresa?
But Professor, you see, what you say is based on Barisan Nasional model. They always
No. From the start, I said that unlike the Barisan Nasional, Pakatan seemed to be practicing a principle of equality because, as I said, in the BN, UMNO is leading the pack, all right?
Yeah.
So the Prime Minister must come from UMNO. But over here, in Pakatan, you have been, even Anwar himself has been saying that everybody is equal.
Yeah.
So the problem is, when it comes to this one, what happened, or who to take over? Should something happen to him?
If you're talking about the coming general elections, I would think that looking at, although the Pakatan Rakyat had applied to Registrar of Societies, and yet we still have not got the approval from ROS. So I think for the coming elections, we will all put our key leaders, photo in all our election campaign. I think for the Rakyat, they also don't demand that, who should be the future Prime Minister, Deputy, and all that. So because this is not important for our supporters and also fan-sitters, what they want to see, those who is a more transparent, a more democratic country. So who will be the head? Or that, I think at this stage, it's not in the mind of most of our supporters and members.
Are you sure of that, YB? That is of secondary importance?
Let me put it this way. I think the focus on change and reform has always taken center stage. And now it's quite clearly seen that even the individuals of... by the way, who was Najib once upon a time, if I may say? And who was Pak Lah for that matter?
Well, Najib, by the way, he was used to be the deputy president of UMNO. So that is at least give you some inkling as to who to succeed.
We have a pool of leaders here around here. We have our...
but you don't put it in the proper order, you see.
We have our president. Guaning has, DAP has got Guaning. They've got quite a succession of leaders who are, to me,
even before 2008, nobody had named Tan Sri Khalid to be the future Menteri Besar. Nobody named Nizar to be the Menteri Besar of Perak. So in the end, it happened. Okay, let's look at the digits. Let's look at what we have, who we have, and then we discuss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think that alone is not good enough to dismiss the importance of having a proper line of succession. Because now people are quite eager to have this two-party system, and I think one of the key things to have that one working and put in place is to have an alternative, and this alternative must be proper, must be structured, which at the moment I'm afraid it's not quite the case with Pakatan. You don't have even, you don't at the moment. I have not seen the cabinet,
shadow
cabinet is working properly
The
as
shadow
promised.
committee.
We
cabinet
have shadow committee.
Whatever you name, I mean,
Yeah.
but the shadow, a kind of alternative to the.
I'm the shadow
government
of
today.
MITI minister.
So okay, coming back to that, I would put it this way. I think that the need of the electorate right now, and as well the entire citizenry, the entire rakyat, is to be, wanting to see change and reform. I think the system is more important than any particular individuals.
You
Because
see-
we have seen it. We have seen it in the VN. I mean, who are they? Are they of exceptional individuals, towering? So when Pala
But
came in,
if you claim to be a waiting government, then you should bank
We
on your own
do.
strength rather than
we do.
working on a BN's
You see,
weaknesses.
I-
Would you
Oh,
have?
shortcomings.
Would you be more comfortable to have one particular person, or you have a pool of
Yeah,
5
capable
to
leaders.
10 capable leaders,
Yeah.
also capable and
Of course,
competent?
I'm
You have a
probably more
choice.
comfortable with the second option, but at the moment there's none.
I think that's very
No.
that's subjective.
I think Dr. Zulkifli is very capable. You give him some time, he might be the head, he might be heading past.
I believe in this. I believe in, only in the darkness you see stars shining. Who was Niza once upon a time?
Yeah.
But only to the Perak crisis, he come to the fore and shine,
Yes.
and outshine. But prior to this, he was not even the state commissioner nor the deputy state commissioner. He was just an SU. He was just in the secretariat working. He's one of the backroom guy.
Yeah.
But given the chance and the opportunity, he just rise on the occasion. That is a leader. That
you
is a leader. The like of that.
So you think the
We have more of that.
the Pakatan way of doing things over here is leaving everything to chance. YB Teresa, you have been talking about the formula or model in Selangor to address this who's next to Anwar Ibrahim question. So can you elaborate more on that?
Yeah, I think the racial composition in Selangor also reflect the racial composition in Malaysia as a whole. You look at in Selangor, although PAS has a least number of seats, but
Yeah.
PAS ESCOs is very influential in the whole state cabinet in Selangor. So in Selangor we practice a consensus. If any party doesn't agree with any policy, that policy cannot be implemented. So I will see that in Pakatan Rakyat as a whole, if you look at the three parties in parliaments, we have more or less same number of seats. So this shows that even if we really win next general elections, there will be each party has a say. So whoever be the prime minister, be the head, it's not the most important thing for us. Most important thing is that we practice consensus. We look after each racial community in the country. We care and we be sensitive to all different cultures and language and races in the country. I think this is what people want to see. The
But
true
that doesn't
democracy.
seem to be the working in Sarawak recently.
If you look at individual state, maybe it doesn't work in that way because Sarawak is the first time they have such a breakthrough where they have 15 seats.
Yeah.
Pakatan Rakyat has 15 seats. But if you look at Malaysia as a whole,
And the representative feel they're big.
yeah, but even that, we have to work. We also appoint PAS, even though they don't get have anyone to be the elected rep, we still appoint them in the shadow cabinet. So I think this is important, and now it's the first time for DAP in Sarawak to recognise the importance of PAS and to work together in the Pakatan Rakyat model. I think this is a big step forward in Sarawak.
Well, looks like the topic is getting heated up and more interesting, but we've got to take a short break. We'll be coming back after this, but please don't go away. Stay tuned.